Blessed with the mighty Atlantic Ocean, fertile agricultural lands, and a strategic geographic location that gives an opportunity for a lot of people to explore and get into the business. Gunjur and the Gambia at large has experienced numerous shutdowns when it comes to economy, and especially this COVID time. Please join us as we embark on a journey where we explore different areas of our business sector, from agriculture, fisheries, and small business enterprises. GunjurBIZ is in short called GunjurBIZ. This will be a platform that we will use to explore different business opportunities, especially for young people. We'll bring you on Gunjur Online all the business topics that is related to financing, operations, marketing. And we will use this platform to invite experts from different sectors of the Gambian economy and give tips and have a broader analysis of the general business sector. This will give us an opportunity to be able to discuss in a broader detail how businesses are affected when it comes to our environment, our natural resources being exploited by other people, but also how we can tap into the opportunities and also access capital, which is very crucial for the success of the businesses. But not only that, we won't stop at accessing capital. You know what else we're going to do? It's about the little operational processes that are needed in our business culture to build up cultures that's going to be successful. And that's going to be, most importantly, what? It's going to be sustainable for the success of the business. So we can transfer wealth. We can also transfer skills from one person to another to be able to live in a community that is thriving, a community that businesses, private sector, individual businesses nurture entrepreneurship and reward them. So please join me every week on Gunjur Online as we delve into all these areas of discussions when it comes to business success. This is your host, Abubacarr of Gunjur Online. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you. Welcome to Gunjur News Online. Today we kickstart our first business talk show on Gunjur News Online, a famous show that we proudly call GunjurBIZ. I am so thrilled today to be with you all, and good morning from the great state of Wisconsin. Today we will just go straight into this. And I just first of all want to give you a cheers for the launch of this um, program that we seek to explore different areas. We seek to explore business opportunities for young people back home. We seek to help to nurture businesses that are operating. We seek to use this platform to encourage, to trigger discussions into business practices. And today's program will be sustainability. Sustainability being big businesses, medium-sized businesses, and small businesses alike is always crucial. But one of the most difficult things to attain. It's so hard and so hard to get businesses to be successful. It's so hard to keep products to certain level or keep improving on them to make it sustainable for consumption, but also to make it stand up to the test of the new uh, entrance into the market. Processes are also so hard to be sustainable. Technology is advancing, people's perceptions are shifting, people's tastes are shifting, and people's expectations are shifting. And with that shift that comes to into the market in a very fast rate, triggered by people thinking outside the box, triggered by innovations in IT, triggered by the world activities, things that are happening in the world, and triggered by environmental happenings in our environments that changes the landscape of our business culture, that also changes the landscape of our business offerings. This make it even more challenging to attain sustainability. Sustainability is always hard to attain because it involves critical thinking, it involves continuous thinking, it involves risk assessment, but it also involves bringing in people with different skill sets that will help the business to stay in the business, but not only to stay in the business, to keep thriving. And you cannot definitely do business as usual in today's business environments. You cannot use the same methods to offer the same kind of product at the same pricing and also to the same market with different taste. We always have to be able to get into the market, study it, but also get a lot of feedbacks from people that consumes your products or services. This does not only applies to the corporations, it doesn't only apply to so-called successful businesses, but it applies to our daily lives. Every day thing is a business. If I wake up early in the morning, make my coffee, take shower, have my bread and butter, that should be consistent. For the fact that I would have to do that every day to be able to build up as a habit. So business applies that way. You have to apply certain things into your life on a daily basis to be able to apply them in the business. If you want to get to work early, you want to make sure that even if you are not working, you have appointments with people, you hang out with your friends and you tell them 9 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock. So it's beyond just sustaining the production. It's beyond just sustaining the financial viability of a business. It's beyond sustaining the liquidity of the business. It actually has greatly to do with the quality of what we produce that is created by how we think, but how we behave. Our behavior towards our business tells us everything. If I am a business owner and I come to the business late, I'm not setting a good example. If I'm a manager or a general manager to a business, or even a lead and even a cleaner at the business,
My attitude towards my work would at the end determine the output that I make and the longevity and the viability that business has will always be determined by the input, the quality of input, but also the cultural aspect of it that we built around the business culture, how we think, how we approach everything, how we treat everything being a product, our employees, our stakeholders in the environment. All these things contribute to the sustainability of the business. So now, why a lot of people will get into business few months down the line, 1 year down the line, they're out of business. Why do we see so many kind of businesses that will be like, they start operating, at the end of it, just one season, you don't hear the name anymore. We've seen that a lot of businesses they go into the business. There's big hype. People are like, oh, this place is the hot spot now. I'm going there. But give it 6 months, one season, people moving to another one. You cannot continue to give the same kind of thing with the same packaging, the same branding, the same taste, and everything staying to the status quo and even the processes because everything changes. You should be able to change with the environment. The demand will always have to play a crucial role in what you offer to the business or to the people that you serve. And in that, we have so many problems to address. This is not, some of them are not isolated incidents, but most of these are factors that are together that also brings about lack of continuity in these businesses. And the list goes on and on and on and on. Some of the problems, we will just highlight them. Some of the problems might just be sustainability because we are not able to make enough profit or we are not able to make enough revenue from our overheads. If I say overheads, I mean like the production cost, the actual money that you spend to create something. Obviously, every business, no matter small, big, or medium, you should be able to make more than you spend on it because a simple example of that, if I spend $1,000 to produce this, I should make more than $1,000 because everything comes out of that $1,000 that is as a result of the production of this pen. And this goes into the cost of labor, electricity, water, when you talked about local businesses, and you also, the fees that you are paying, the taxes that you're paying, the employees that you have that paying their salaries and all their benefits. So I've seen a lot of people that will spend money. They spend $1,000 and they're like, I make $1,500, and they're like, this is profitable business. But some businesses will run at a loss in a short term, but their bigger ambition is a long-term profitability, viability, and continuity of that. So this has to do with capital at some point. It has to do with the skill sets that people that you employ have. It has to do with our attitude, our ethics towards our businesses, how seriously we take them, but it has to do with different areas of our society, our business culture, our thinking, our resources that are around us than I can exhaust. That's why for this program and our subsequent programs, like I promised earlier, we will be bringing people with diverse knowledge, skills, experiences, and exposure to different areas of business activities, and also their experiences living in the outside the Gambia, but also lived in the Gambia, in the local, in our localities, in our communities that understands our people. I'll bring people that have the capability of breaking down complex situations to our level, to the setting where we are in, where we don't have to speak the university language to someone who is a carpenter and has not sat in a classroom, but has an amazing skill to be able to be productive. Just bring those things to the smallest concept possible. Break it down in a way that we will definitely will be understanding. We will have our people to understand all these things that they are doing, and it will be beneficial. So from today going forward, we will have guests from different areas, but as well as having people that are directly involved in the businesses. And this will bring us down to introducing my two guests that I'm just can't wait to have them on GunjurBIZ. But I'll do a quick review of my guests that I will invite in a minute to have some information from them, how they think things can change for better, what are the right mindsets that a business person can have. But these are folks that also went through challenges that in their lives and in their businesses that taught them a lot to be able to sit here today and share with us things that are going to be of tremendous benefit to us. And first, I have Mr. Lamin Kere Janneh, who is a native of Gunjur, a business owner, and lives in the United Kingdom. So the good thing about this today is going to be like we're going to talk to people from across the world. This is just so beautiful that people I've not seen him probably 10, 15 years or probably longer than that. But isn't it beautiful that we can just sit here and talk to our people? And secondly, I have Mr. Papa J, my brother, that I've never met, living in Sweden. It's just amazing how we are able to talk behind the scene and discuss about issues that we're able to put this together. And I'm just thrilled right now. I'm kind of overwhelmed how quickly we're able to set all these things together to be able to bring you all these folks down here. So, Mr. Lamin Janneh, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Abubacarr. I am very honored to be given the opportunity to share my experiences of owning a small business in the local community in Gunjur. Just for the interest and the benefit of our viewers, I think it will be befitting to do a little bit of an intro of myself, of who I am, and a little bit on my academic background and things that I'm doing now, and then I can go on to talk to you about my business in Gunjur, Dalaba Eco-lodge. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Lamin Kere Janneh. I hail from Gunjur, Compassar, of course. I was schooled in my early part of my academic career or education career, if you like, Gunjur Primary School, then pursued on to Gunjur High School, where I completed both my O-level and A-level, and still in pursuit of my dreams, continue my education in the United Kingdom, where I have completed a higher national diploma in business studies at the City of Bristol College, and then went on further to complete my degree at the University of South Wales in the United Kingdom, where I completed with a BSc Honours in Business with Marketing. So that is in summary my education background at the moment. I am working for an energy company in the UK here. Over the last 14 years, I've been working, or I'm still working with this company. I made my way through the ranks through working as a customer service advisor, and then make my way through different positions in management, where currently I am account manager for the renewable energy portfolios for customer services. So in essence, that's the drive business. I've learned a lot working with the company that I'm working for now. In terms of how you run business, how you manage people, and the complexities in dealing with difficult situations in businesses, especially in the UK here. Now, bringing that down to my business in Gambia, I in 2005 decided to invest and start a small business in Gunjur, and this is the business called Dalaba Eco-lodge. Dalaba Eco-lodge is my life. It's something that when I start talking about, you can see the passion coming from me. You know, this is something that I believe in. As is also to do with having to give something back to our local community, because I feel we all need to give something back. And giving something back didn't start with Dalaba Eco-lodge for me. This started with a community project that I was involved in called Fayunku Community Nursery School. Now, this school still exists in Gunjur. It's benefiting the community. It is a school that, if I could remember the history very well, I initiated with my friend Kabir Ture. The school was built on the basis of community integration and also allowing younger people in Gunjur to have an opportunity that we didn't have. Of course, I didn't have the chance to go to nursery education, and I knew the impact that had on me when I went to high school. So, for me, it's particularly to give something back, like that, give younger people in our community that opportunity to have early childhood education. Fayunku was the third oldest nursery school in Gunjur. Of course, the oldest one is Father School, for those who are familiar with the schools in Gunjur. We started with Father School, and the next one was the preschool, initiated by Taru, and then Fayunku was the third. So today, if you go to Gunjur, you find there are lots of different nursery schools in there, which is absolutely brilliant and it's fantastic. So that's in essence the idea of giving something back. That's what created and gave back to my investment in Dalaba Eco-lodge. Dalaba Eco-lodge, for those of you who don't know where we are located on the Gunjur-Brikama highway. Now, if you're coming from Brikama, just before you enter Gunjur, we'll be on the left-hand side, just opposite the Tane junction. So that's where Dalaba is located. Now, I can also give you a little bit of history about the name Dalaba, but all of that it's not that relevant. What is important for me is ensuring that we're giving back something. When I say we are giving back something, I'm working with people, so I consider them to be a part of the Dalaba family. In terms of how Dalaba is run and how we manage the day-to-day affairs of the business, of course, any business would have to have some kind of history to it. Dalaba, the history behind it is the commitment that I have to ensuring that that part of Gunjur can be looked at in hopefully the next 100 years or even longer, and the name Dalaba and the idea of Dalaba still being instilled within the community, and people who know Dalaba will still remember that this area of Gunjur still needs to be preserved, and we'll continue to do that. Now, our mission statement at Dalaba is to create affordable accommodation through tourism in a sustainable way. Now, of course, that requires a lot of challenging thinking, and how you are going to deliver that, of course, is quite interesting, considering when you talk about sustainability and you're talking about affordability. These are important key components in our mission statement in Dalaba, and the challenges are, how do you mix those two together with profitability?
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I mean, these are some of the interesting factors, but I will further on talk to you about, when you ask those questions on sustainability and the challenges and all the things that we do. One thing that I would say to business owners in Gunjur is that you have to believe in what you do. Of course, I believe in what I do, and I'm very, very passionate about Dalaba, and that's why 15 years ago we're still going. And I've had a lot of challenges along the way, a lot of knocks that probably would kill a faint-hearted person. But of course, you need to believe in what you do. You need to know what you're doing as well. Coming from a business background, I am strongly footed in that. I clearly understand where I want to get to. And for me, it's all about taking things one step at a time. And then often what you see in small businesses, especially because you mentioned in your intro about where you have businesses start and, a year or two down the line, those businesses won't be there. It's because people are not looking at the long-term picture of the business that they're doing. And they just basically start a business without understanding what they're going into. If you prepare your business plan very well, you have a step-by-step approach onto achieving things. I can only see sustainability on the back of that. And I think from our point of view at Dalaba, this is the idea that I'm instilling in people. Of course, I will talk about a lot of the constraints that we face as a small business in Gunjur as the program proceeds. But for now, I will stop on that because I can talk the whole day about this, but I'll allow all the people to come in. And Abubacarr, thank you for giving me the platform. And I'm hoping that this conversation will be very interesting because we'll open up a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that many small businesses can take learning from. And we can share these ideas across board and hopefully expand and make our region a very successful area of the Gambia in terms of business operations. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear either. I can't hear.
No, me, I can't hear.
Good, good, yeah.
Good. Go on, yeah.
Can you all hear me now?
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, viewers, we were talking about how we were introducing Papa J, and we're sorry about that interruptions. And we will get back into the program. So I was trying to introduce him as a businessman, a nurse, a culturalist, and a poet, a performer. The list goes on and on and on and on. And nobody can introduce anyone better than themselves. And I think Mr. Baba brings in that uniqueness into our program, but most importantly, into our cultural aspect of it. So, Mr. Baba, the floor is yours. Who is Papa J? If I said, who is Papa J, what will you tell me?
Good day, Abubacarr. It's an honor to be here today. And me just moving into Gunjur. This is such a fantastic platform. And I'll first of all say congratulations for establishing such a platform where all can be together. I am from Bakau in the Gambia. And I did my nursing studies as a state registered nurse at the School of Nursing in the Gambia. I went to Sweden through cognitive therapy, psychiatry. I worked. And then later on, I went focused on our cultural activities. But before all that, as Lamin introduced himself in the Gambia before nursing school, I attended St. Peter's Technical High School, and from there then to nursing, and then to Sweden. In Sweden, working with psychiatry, I found out our culture and cultural activities are almost disappearing in a way that is sad. So I decided, what is the man without his culture? As Bob Marley said, you become as a tree without roots. That made me go deeper into our culture and cultural activities. In the end, my passion became such that I left the hospital and the nursing career. I focused wholly and solely on our cultural activities. Went to different countries, Guinea, Mali, doing as much research as possible, theoretically and practically. And that led to my establishment of a cultural center in Kololi, 1995. And the aim of establishing this cultural center is to try to sensitize our youths of the importance of our culture and the instruments to sustain it and also promote it, disseminate it. And the reason for me going into that is to try to show the youths that even though the Western world and even though the Western ways of doing business, or even though the ways of pursuing the Western system is important and to have a livelihood, yet still our culture is dying in such a way. And then in retrospect, with the life of the African, nothing is being promoted of our culture that is sustained So my idea was to promote our cultural activities to the youths and also to the outside world to show them who we are, what we have. That is equally important for the outsiders to know who we are as Africans, and also to gain a livelihood through our cultural activities. So I started by walking into the country, different parts, especially going down to the beach. I saw the kids, the way they are trying to hustle and try to get ways of meeting the Westerners to get a better life, but then without a profession or skills. These are the group that I used to gather at my center. I give them accommodation, have a teacher that I pay from another country that teaches them the different instruments, the different history, and make sure that they have full trainings within this, and that is on their side, so that they can boost their self-esteem and also have a profession through our culture. And the reason for that is for them to have their self-respect first and gain a way to sustain their livelihoods wherever they go, rather than begging from the tourists that I saw was happening a lot. They have their profession through drumming, dancing, all the instruments. They render their services and get a reward. And on the other side, in Europe, showing the Western world who we are, what we have culturally, and introduce that to the Western world, and then bring the Westerners down to the Gambia, to my center, for them to learn different arts and also introduce them to different schools. I used to bring schools from Europe, integrate them with schools. And one example of that integrational projects that I was doing was with Muslim high school. I think 11 years these integrational projects have been going on, from the Europeans coming down and Muslim high school going to Sweden on the same integrational basis. And then at the end of it, there is evaluations. Within these evaluations, one sees what the European kids can learn and enrich themselves with ways that are positive from the Gambia or West Africa. And then also the African kids were going to Europe and seeing the ways of the European kids learn their art or their professions to get a better life. And what that does actually is kids start understanding that not everything is green, and not everything is easily plucked, as we used to say in the Gambia. That when guys come to Europe, they think it's just to pull the money from the trees as you pull the leaves. So that is one part. And then I used to get groups, dancing and drumming groups, that come over to the center and learn our arts. And all that, the main aim of that happening is for me, for our culture not to die. That's one important part. Secondly, for our kids to get a possibility of proceeding in life. And then for the Westerners, the main important part is for them to understand who we are. As we know, we're living in a world where a lot of who we are, what we have, is not understood well in the world outside Africa. And a lot of what we do is actually not being appreciated culturally from our side. So this is what I'm trying to promote our culture as much as possible. And Zinzani is the name of my cultural center that was in Kololi. The center has been running since 1995 until 2008. And then I thought I need an expansion. And with the expansion, for several years ago, I met people from Gunjur that showed me around Gunjur, talked about Gunjur. I felt it's such a spiritual village. I felt it's such a traditional village and such a cultural village, and the environment is so rich and so um, one is very connected to nature. And that time that I thought of transferring my business to Gunjur, I thought of transferring my business to Gunjur. Coming to Gunjur, before coming, Kololi started developing in such a way that it's becoming very touristic, the type of tourists that I am not focused on. I am more focused on tourists that are interested in who we are, what we do, how we live. And I thought the best environment will be Gunjur. So I ended up buying a place very close to Lamin, actually. And I was so excited and delighted seeing that there is an Eco-lodge very close to where I bought my place. It is at the very early stage. I just bought that place 2 years ago. I have moved there myself and I'm working hard bit by bit to develop. Uh, Everything is at this initial stage. But what I do there is our traditional activities, instrument history, and showing guests or country in different ways. And by the way, as I'm speaking, I am more a cultural and a traditional person than a business person. I
Right.
always have someone else talking, like Lamin have been talking. So this is not my part. But anyway, here I am, and the
Yeah.
main aim of my place is actually to bring Europe and Africa together. I believe we're living in a world today where diversity is important. It's been centuries where we have misunderstandings of each other, but then also understanding is becoming closer and closer through migration. And I definitely believe one understanding your culture makes it easier and to understand the people and the person.
Yeah. All
I
right.
think I can stop at the moment.
Yeah. There is so much to digest here. I'm sure Lamin have done this. He probably have welcomed you to Gunjur, but I want to use this platform to warmly welcome you to Gunjur and feel at home. You are You're one of us, and we definitely appreciate you
Thank you.
joining our show. Hey, back to Lamin. Lamin, you understand that pretty much things means different things to people, right? Um, when you come to America or you go to Europe or Africa, Asia, you realize that certain things means different things to people. And most of the businesses are surrounded by cultures. They operate in a setting, cultural setting. Either they embrace the culture or not, but every culture has an impact in every business that operates there. You might have the same type of business like McDonald's. I've seen McDonald's in many parts of the world. You might have a certain standard for McDonald's in America here that is probably quite different with Asia. Everyone works in a way that suits their clientele, their concept, their level of awareness, what is important and less important to them. And you operate your business in a setting that works best for you and your business environment. Sustainability too could mean something different to so many that we don't even know. Sustainability in a local setting might sound different from an international setting. That might also tells you different priorities. What is important to this business to be able to hold on to help in keeping that business, the wheels of that business running. To, what are the type of oil, engine oil that keeps the wheel moving. And what do you think is sustainability? And how can we achieve sustainability in a way that is more economical, but also in a way that it helps us to improve while we are sustaining what we are doing? So what do you think in a local setting like Gunjur or the Gambia, it's necessary to keep us on track, not just keeping us on track literally, but move on as we are on the track so we can have more advancement to keep our businesses going, to expand our businesses? Because when you start, you don't want to, I'm sure when you started, you probably have less employees than you have now, or less employees on a full-time scale than you have now, depending on the market, the demand, and everything. But obviously, the dream is to move forward, to be a bigger business every time that goes beyond lifetime of the owners. So, what does sustainability means to you? I'll just throw all this at you once,
Yeah.
and
No.
also challenges that you think comes along with sustainability. I know we wouldn't
Right.
have enough time, but we will bring you back again. And
Yeah.
in a bigger context, what do you think uh, are the things that are necessary to bring about
Okay.
sustainability?
Well, just basically summarizing the points that you put across there.
Mm,
I think it's really important that we understand, as you mentioned there, we need to put all of this into context. Of course, um, as you rightly said, the area or in the community in which you operate is important to take into consideration if you are doing any business, and how the norms of that community are going to impact your business. So for me, in the first summary, I would say passion and belief is a key driver for sustainability.
right,
Now, I'll give you an example because I need to break this down so we can all understand. Of course, we are
right.
trying to improve local businesses in our
Mm,
community. So we need to try to contextualize everything so we can benefit people directly on the ground. Um, I always used to advise people to follow their dreams and their passion.
mm,
So because I am looking back at some of our history back in Gunjur, if you could recall, or maybe our viewers would recall this, there used to be a time in Gunjur when
mm,
everyone used to be a tomato farmer.
Right.
And this was because
Including my
people,
mom.
perhaps, yeah, my mom as well. It's probably just because a few people at the time started those businesses and, or, started to do those agro businesses in a small scale, and they were very successful in one season. And the next season, the whole village turns into a tomato farming community. And then the problem with that is the market then gets overflooded with the same product, and there's not enough buyers for it. And then, at the end of the day, if you put that into a business context, it wouldn't make sense, because it means there is overproduction in the community, a lot more than the community itself can consume or even sell. So that's a struggle that we always have in our local community, and that's why I always emphasize to people, if you want to go into a business, I think you need to kind of understand what business you're going into. You need to have a business plan in the first place. If you cannot do a business plan, talk to people. There are a lot of people on the ground that can assist you to put a good plan in place and work on those plans on a stage-by-stage basis to ensure you exhaust those steps and stages that the business demands for you to do. And a lot of the businesses that fail in the community, if you look at the steps that they should follow to ensure they exhaust, they haven't done that to the letter. So eventually what happens is you invested a lot of money into something. My uncle will come in and say, look, Lamin, change this into orange farm. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe my uncle is right. I need to turn this business into orange farm. So you're diverting this attention and interest, and perhaps where you've spent a lot of money on, into something else that you haven't got a good idea about. Perhaps it's just somebody on the sideline advising you, and you didn't even take a lot of things into consideration, and you jump ship from the original business into another business. Now, if you look at Gunjur as a community, go around, do your little survey, talk to different people. You'll find people who start a business, 6 months down the line, they're into a different business. And it's just because they don't have a consistent plan and they're not passionate about what they're doing. And that's the difference. For me, I found my passion. I know where my passion lies. I know where my beliefs lie. And this is why I am so grounded into this business. I've had a lot of advice, numerous advices about different, ideas about what I can do differently. I don't say I don't listen to people. Of course, I take advices on board and I welcome them. But I am clear in my mind about what I want to achieve. So for me, I know my goal, I know my dream, I know where I want to get to. Every day that I get up in the morning, in my head, I know where my destiny lies. I know where I would get into over a period of time. So in terms of sustainability, bringing that back, if you don't have a clear passion and a belief in what you're doing, it's always very difficult because you'll jump ship from one thing to the other. So it's always very important that we emphasize on people to have, to do things that they are passionate about, to do things that they believe in, but to do them with a plan. So for example, business plan, and follow that business plan to the letter. And then if you do that, I'm pretty confident you would attain some form of success in that. And the second point, because I'm going to try and ramp this up for you, second point is embracing change, because of course you can have a business plan and the model could be defined for you to do that business in a special way. But of course, and I will link that to situations that keep changing all the time. For instance, we are now in this COVID-19 situation. The business have to be flexible enough to adapt to change. And Dalaba Eco-lodge, what we did, instead of sending our staff home to say, look, we're not getting any business at the moment, so we're going to shut down. We haven't done that. My business decides that what we could do differently is to allow staff to come into work, because this staff, I treat them as family. They're part of the Dalaba family. So the little income or whatever income they gain from their work is sustaining and supporting their families. So for me, whether the guests come in or not, I believe as a responsible business owner in the community, I have to take the heat myself and allow my staff to also, feel that they are part of the business in the longer term, because I know that COVID is not going to be there forever. So as a business, what we've done, we allow our staff to come in. and we gave them other opportunities to do different types of work in the meantime as temporal measures to cover ourselves up over the period, whilst businesses are not operational fully. So I think embracing change and adapting to change is a tool, but also a mechanism that allows a business to be sustainable. Now, if you cannot change and you cannot embrace change, you cannot adapt to change, unfortunately, when things change a little bit, your business will go under and that business won't be sustainable. So that's why it's really important for that aspect of it also to be followed on by all businesses. If you are a small business in the community, for example, small businesses like the ones that weld and produce products, the welders and others. I have seen during this COVID period, they've come up with innovations where they're creating some other things that is allowing their business to excel during this lockdown and COVID period, So I think for businesses to be sustainable, those two key points have to be there. But also you have to work on your strength as a business. So every business that is set up would have its own, strength. Perhaps it could be some little thing that they are doing, but they're doing that very well. So you need to know what your strength is as a business. And that strength is what you need to work on to ensure your business grows. But if you're struggling to find out what your strength is, competition will consume you. And this is happening to a lot of businesses in the community. For example, there are a lot of eco-lodges in Gunjur. We all have different things that we're offering, but maybe some of the other businesses don't know what their strengths are. I know what Dalaba Eco-lodge's strengths are, and we're working on our strengths, our strategic location and accessibility to public transport, and our location to access roads in the country is a big strength for us, and we are using that, and that's working for us. Of course, with this period now, just before COVID, when we had the problems with Thomas Cook, we had a lot of cancellation. So what did we do? We turned our business around to focus on local and, if I said local, regional tourism as well. So we did a lot of promotion in Senegal, and you'll be surprised. I mean, the amount of Senegalese stories that we had in my place, I couldn't believe it, But these are some of the things that businesses need to try to take, into account. It's not just, everyone is doing the same thing and you jump on board and you don't do your homework quite well to try and have some ideas about what you can do differently and try and sell your strengths. So that is, for me, the sustainability angle that I am looking at from those points there. I mean, if you get those 3 points in place and you work very hard on them, I think your business can work. And the fourth one, if you like, is that's what I call the continuous improvement, and productivity and creativity as well. Again, we're using that during this COVID period. We use this opportunity to improve our facilities, because in the business that I'm in, your facilities have to be first class. And for me, I think because I live in the West here, that's given me an opportunity to understand what the standards are that the Westerners would expect when they come to a place like mine. It is not a 5-star hotel, for goodness sake. It is an eco-lodge. And when I say it's an eco-lodge, it's to give you that local experience, but mixed with comfort, and also give you that cleanliness that you expect. And to mix that together, this is what makes our mix very, very interesting. But we bring in a lot of local creativity in there, and that's something that we are continuously working on without an end. So I don't know whether you wanted me to stop on that for sustainability, because I can talk to you about the challenges as well, if you like. Because time, is the.
I just want to. I will come back to you on the challenges to wrap up. I'm sure we're going to have this again and to continue the discussion. But you mentioned some important stuff here that talks about embracing change. I know that me and my friends always talk about how we would love to work from home. That was before the COVID-19 hit. And now, for the fact that businesses have no choice but to embrace that change, tells you there is nothing beyond a human being. There is nothing that we cannot do when we're faced with the challenges and we're resilient, we're willing to go through those challenges. It happens. And I've been working from home for the past 4 months. And
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any reason why a lot of the companies were reluctant, but they didn't know that they could, they never knew they could do it.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are embracing. So that's very, very important that people like, oh, something happened and it's just going to mess up my whole business. They're like, oh my goodness, I cannot do this without this environment that I've been in for the past 10, 20, 30 years. So that's important. You mentioned about love of something, like you have to have passion for something before you get into. Me and you talked extensively about how people get into business because Lamin is doing it, or Babakar is doing it, or Ibrahima is doing it, without actually having a deeper connection to that. But you just looked at the success stories of that, you're like, oh, that's a lucrative business, that's a profitable business, and you spend your money into it. Some of those things are very, very important that I think we can spend the whole time diagnosing it. And the continuity as well, the continuous improvement that you mentioned is also super important that we have to keep, try to make sure we do everything possible to stay above the water. And the regional stuff that you mentioned about, I mean, I'm sure that something people, a lot of people that are watching, hopefully many of them can understand that if you're faced with a block wall, there is a way to divert attention to something else and create something that you never even thought of, and that should bring some revenue to you. And I know I'll try to come back to you on the challenges, but I want to go back to Mr. Papa J. And Papa, I would like to ask, what do you think? I'm not sure if you're with us. All right. I'm not sure if Papa is still with us, if he is hearing us. I was going to ask him a question if what can we do culturally? He's trying to teach kids, a lot of young people back home to learn skills that will they can, provide services to the guest or to the communities and to people for a fee so they can earn their living. That's, you're creating wealth right there, but you're also creating employment for these people and their families. If Papa is now with us, I'll quickly go back to you, Mr. Janneh. If I'm not sure if you can bring Papa up back. All right. I'm not sure we still having Papa. I'll go back to you on the challenges. We have Emily waiting. That Emily is going to host another program called GunjurLive on Gunjur Online. This will be a storytelling program using mobile to record and have them on series to showcase and also to actually give young people the platform that are doing some stuff in our communities. But before Emily comes, I want to go back to you, Lamin. What do you think might be some of the challenges someone like me just sitting out of the blue and like, Mr. Janneh is doing that successfully. What can I go
Uh,
and do that? What are the challenges that someone who wants to get into the business in our community or in our
well,
country that
is
they have to expect? Is that's for
Abubacarr is
you?
is interesting. You know, it's a community where people sometimes would say, "I haven't got work," and often you give people opportunity to work, and it's not sustainable.
Mhm,
And so a lot of the problems that small businesses in Gunjur are encountering is recruitment and retention of
mhm,
staff. That's a major problem, if you like, because In as much as you wanted to give something back to the community, you want to have people with the right attitude, people with the right mindset, people who are going to come in and give 100% and understand that this is a job. I'm you know, making a take from this. I'm taking my earnings from this, so I need to take it very serious to ensure you know, my earnings can be sustainable and I can go ahead and help my family. You end up having to hire people and sack them, or hire people, and after, you know, a few months, you spend your resources trying to upgrade them and upskill them and trying to give them all the tools that they need to do that job. And you find, you know, 6 months down the line, they're going elsewhere. They're doing something else different. And this is, you know, it's not because the business owners are not looking after staff or anything like that. Of course, there could be instances of that, but my experience is what I'm talking about at Dalaba. I mean, you give people opportunity. You look at someone, you think, oh, okay, this guy I could train, I could give him or her the opportunity to come and work with me. You know, I'll give you one example. I'm not gonna quote a name, but then I had this girl that worked for me. You would believe it. I mean, you would think in the Western world, when you got a partner or you're going into, you know, engaging into marital life, that's in fact when you try to look for a sustainable job, or a job that's going to bring you sustainable income so you can support the family and making sure life is better for all of you. But interestingly for me, with this member of staff that started with us 3 months down the line, she was getting married. And she had to quit the job because she was getting married. It's mental. I couldn't work it out. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, I was overwhelmed. But these are the, you know, some of the similar problems that, you know, businesses in the local community are facing with staff retention. That's a major issue. And of course, you know, finding the right people with the right attitude and the right skills. So, in some of what I have tried to do, is to recruit people who can be skilled. But of course, you know, there are some people it's very, very difficult to upskill them. So you've got to find the right people that you can skill yourself, give them the training on the job, and then offer them the support, with the hope that these are going to be people that will be staying with you. But you ask any or a lot of the, you know, similar businesses that are operating within the Gunjur area, they will tell you the same story, because they invest their time, the energy, and supporting these people. And it gets to a point where you think, oh, this guy's doing really well now, or this person is doing really well now. It's part of the business, and they move on to something else different. So that is very frustrating for a small business, because what that does to your business is that you are going to have to start recruiting again, and you're starting from square one. So it's that problem that we have in the community. So it's going to take a while, but I you know, one of these people that believe that through constant trying and constant education and talking to people, hopefully we can change the mindset and the attitudes to ensure we overcome those kind of problems. And a lot of it is the attitude, is the ethics are not right. People are not too serious about the works they do. They're not too worried about timekeeping. They, you know, it's like you have an appointment with someone and they're supposed to come in, start their job at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. They won't turn up on time. And you challenge them for being late for work, and they will say, but I was only late for 30 minutes, as if 30 minutes doesn't matter. You know, so these kind of you know, things are some of the challenges that small businesses are facing in our community. And I think you know, it's expensive, because say you've got somebody in my business setting that's got to come in first thing in the morning to start work, say 6 o'clock in the morning, because we got guests in there, they need their breakfast ready, and this person is phoning me to say, look, my mum sent me to Brickham, so I'm not going to be able to come in today. And I'm banging the floor thinking, what's going on? So these are some of the problems that we all face as small businesses in the local community. But also, there are other things that are, you know, a struggle for us. And that is the cash flow problems that a lot of the small businesses in Gunjur are having. And in fact, I remember in our conversation, you know, we delved a little bit into that. Funding is a major problem for businesses, and especially small businesses, not just Gunjur, but in Gambia in general, access to funding is a major challenge. So for some of us, because as a private business for me, I am privileged, to say that I have had to work here in the UK and then obviously send my remittances to do things that I'm doing over there. But if you're a local business and you set up your own business in there, I know a lot of them are struggling to have access to funding to be able to expand their business and even start it up, business startups. So perhaps that's something that this program would expose a lot, so we can look at opportunities that could be created to small businesses in the community to try to help them address some of their funding issues and cash flow issues as well. And the final point that I put down was the maintenance of profitability of the business. I mean, these are quite challenging because a lot of the small businesses in our community are struggling between, pushing the cost down and trying to boost up productivity. And if you don't get that balance right, your business will not be a profitable business. So that requires businesses to put mechanisms in place that can assist them to put the cost down. But of course, if you are a business that's operating with a small number of staff, say 5 staff, and of course you're not that profitable, eventually, as a business owner, you have to make a tough decision to try to perhaps either deal with the staff numbers or find other means and ways that you can cut the cost of operation on your business to allow you to obviously get this head high up and being a bit profitable. So these are challenges that small business owners in our community are faced with day in, day out. So the only way they are able to sustain themselves out of these, to put some of the plans that we have got in place in terms of business sustainability and working on trying to make your business more resilient and hoping that that will give you an opportunity to be a profitable business. So that's my take on that. Can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Fitness Center Body Max.
See the wine, I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em. Baby girl, you bad, oh. Girl, the way you whine, I demand over you, girl. I demand over you, girl. Say you are my woman, eh? My superwoman. I demand over you, girl. I demand over you, girl. See the wine, I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em.
Moro, mbijando, mbakandro.
Ko ngalla janne kibaro mo kalka sola bagaso wafu.
E ka fontelle ko sola enterprise. Fo fendi nabe dendi sola la fannala la sola la bundal. Ndella ko do kuwo ke mole janka sola joran kendo natala. Dum min nata na ko fanandia. Birin Gambia jam fo Gambia e bantala. Nka bagasol samba be ton ka do ku kendo be ke mo be. Ninga do ko ke momo ndi en ka sanji kilin garantie dilale. Nyin kama ko la do ko lanno so waran ni tema.
Bagasi falle.
Bagaso min bijay fofe nabe dendi sola la bundala la sola la fannala. A bagaso sifa be bijay. Lightning and pumping system. Ndella fanan ko ke mole min be dendi na ko ni dandal ni kordal. Ka jiodi alla nin ka lampo fanan sika ka diala. Wo pumping wolbe dendi gadi no ni ku kotal ni la jiko ni la fanga bela. Lightning wolo dimbani ku kotal. Danno sola enterprise tin ko la ka.
Fama fam sola.
Fo fembe dendi sola la hajo la janne be loro.
Wato tente bul bagasol tan.
Adum fana be ku fula la leje. Bunda fula fana be mbulle fan ka bonan dami anin dula ba fula safonya. America ni Europe na fan ka bana wolta dum doron no moto min ka fenken do na te sola la bagasol kana te nyim banko kanya.
Abanta bagasol tan.
Ngata.
For more information, call 7171998. 7171998. Gunjur Fitness Center Body Max. Gunjur Fitness Center Body Max.
I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em. Baby girl, you bad, girl, the way you whine, I demand over you, girl, I demand over you, girl. Say you are my woman, my superwoman, I demand over you, girl, I demand over you, girl. Where see the wine, I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em.
Moro
Ibanya
mbijando bakandro
ko ngalla janne kibaro moy kalka sola bagaso wafu
e ka fontelle ko sola enterprise fo fendi nabe dendi sola la fannala la sola la bundal ndella ko do kuwo ke mole janka sola joran kendo natale dum min nata na ko fanandiya birin gambia jam fo gambia e bantala nka bagasol samba be ton ka do ku kendo be ke mo be ninga do ko ke momo ndi en ka sandi kilin garantie dilale nyin kama ko la do ko lanno so waran ni tema
bagasi falle
bagaso min bijay fofe nabe dendi sola la bundala la sola la fannala a bagaso sifa be bijay lightning and pumping system ndella fanan ko ke mole min be dendi na ko ni dandan ni kordal ka jiodi alla nin ka lampo fanan sika ka diala wo pumping wolbe dendi gadi nol ni ku kotal ni la ji ko ni la fanga bela lightning wolom dimbani ku kotal jannum sola enterprise tin ko la ka
fam mo sola
fo fembe dendi sola la haajo la janne be loro
wato tente bul bagasol tan
adum fana be ku fula la leje bunda fula fana be mbulle fan ka bonan dami anin dula ba fula safonya America ni Europe na fan ka bana wolta dum doron no moto min ka fenken do na te sola la bagasol kana te nyim banko kanya
abanta bagasol tan
ngata.
For more information, call 7171-998. 7171-998. Gunjur Fitness Center Body Max.
Where see the wine, I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em. Baby girl, you bad, girl, the way you whine, I demand over you, girl, I demand over you, girl. Say you are my woman, my superwoman, I demand over you, girl, I demand over you, girl. Where see the wine, I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em.
Moro
Ibanya
mbijando bakandro
ko ngalla janne kibaro moy kalka sola bagaso wafu
e ka fontelle ko sola enterprise fo fendi nabe dendi sola la fannala la sola la bundal ndella ko do kuwo ke mole janka sola joran kendo natale dum min nata na ko fanandiya birin gambia jam fo gambia e bantala nka bagasol samba be ton ka do ku kendo be ke mo be ni nga do ko ke momo ndi en ka sanji kilin garantie dilale nyin kama ko la do ko lanno si waran ni tema
bagasi falle
bagaso min bijay fofe nabe den ni sola la bundala la sola la fannala a bagaso sifa be bijay lightning and pumping system ndella fanan ko ke mole min be den ni na ko ni dandal ni kordal ka diodi alla nin ka lampo fanan se ka dialla wo pumping wol be den ni gadinol ni ku kotal ni la ji ko ni la fama bela lightning wala dimbani ku kotal danno sola enterprise tin ko la kali
fem mo sola
fofe be den ni sola la hajo la janne be loro
wato tente bul bagasol tan
adum fanan be ku fula la leje bunda fula fanan be mbulle fan ka bonan dami anin dula ba fula safonya America ni Europe na fan ka.
We apologize for that breakdown on the transmission, and thank Lamin Janneh for his time with us. Hopefully, we can have him back again on GunjurBIZ. Right now, we have Emil. Emil is a teacher, a youth advocate who worked tirelessly, traveled in the Gambia to different towns, got his early education from Gunjur, and then went to further his education, but then came back to Gunjur to set up something, and also a teacher. So Emil is going to have a different series that you'll be seeing on Gunjur Online. Probably wouldn't be a live show, but you will see his work, being projected on Gunjur Online, try to showcase the young talents. Also, our businesses, can have a voice to speak for themselves. And he always mentioned that nobody can tell your story better than yourself. And we have Emil, and Emil, tell us what to expect on digital storytelling on GunjurLive. So Emily's programs called GunjurLive that will give you raw footages from activities that are happening in Gunjur, and people, especially young people that are engaged into different areas of business, from poultry, carpentry, construction, and a bunch of different things. So you should expect a lot from him because he is going to give you that local taste of what people are doing, how we can give them the voice, the platform to showcase their talents and skills, but most importantly, to connect them to the whole world where people can, see their products and services that they render. So Emily will be the brain behind that. Emily, welcome to GunjurBIZ. Who is Emily, and why do you have the passion to do this?
Thank you so much, Abubacarr. Well, I am Emil Gibba from Gunjur.
Mhm.
Abubacarr, the idea behind coming up with digital storytelling in Gunjur online is to give these young people a platform because when you look at it, we have a lot of things that are happening in Gunjur.
Mhm.
People are into a lot of things, but not much of it is shown on mainstream media. Like I personally, I run Gunjur Neutral and Business Society,
Mhm.
and most of the time we have programs. We've had a lot of programs here in Gunjur, but most of the time when we have programs, when we invite mainstream media, they don't show.
Mhm.
So I am the type that doesn't just keep on blaming, but I always try to come up with solution. Look, this is what we are doing in Tunji. Mainstream media isn't showing it. What should be done? Then that is how I had of a program that was a training that was to be run in Tunji here at Target.
Mhm.
Initially, I was not part of those that were selected to be part of the training, which has to do with mobile journalism, where you do digital storytelling, digital reporting, using your mobile phone.
Mhm.
So I was not part of those that were first selected to be part of the training, but I was lucky to be part of it at a very late time, which I
Mhm.
went through. And now after the training, I'm now using that to give our young people the voice because, like I used to say, your story is best told by you. You know your story better. You are the one that can tell it better. So Gunjur live storytelling is going to be a platform wherein we are going to visit young people that are into entrepreneurship, that are into a lot of things, trying to give them a platform. Mainstream media isn't showing it, but that's not just the only platform we have to showcase what young people in Tunisia are doing. That is how we came up with the idea of digital storytelling and Tunisia Life. So basically, that is what we are going to expect. We are going to see young people in Nigeria. We are going to see what they are doing, what are some of their challenges, what are some of the passion, what is the
Mhm.
passion, what motivates them doing whatever they are doing, and uh, we are just there to give them a voice. We are just there to give them a platform to showcase whatever they are doing. So basically, that is what one should expect if you are going to be a full follower of Digital Life Digital Storytelling, which I am but Lamin Kere.
Good. Emily, you mentioned to me how you struggled to have a mentor at an early age. As a result, you had to go and find one. And you think giving back to your community, it is important that you also create that environment where you can mentor or help other kids to be mentored by other people. That you were founder of the literary group that you established in Gunjur that does the acting and the writing and bunch of things. Can you tell people a little bit more about this?
Yeah, Abubacarr, I started writing at a very early age.
Mhm.
If someone that knows me at a very early age can attest to this,
Mhm.
I remember writing something. Then I used to try songwriting. Uh, though now I've left that at my back, but I
Mhm.
used to do a lot of songwriting when I was very young. I remember coming
Mhm.
up with something when I was in grade one, as
Right.
early as grade one. Yeah, by grade three, when I was in grade three, I wrote a lot of things. And reaching grade four, that was when I lost my mom. And
Sorry about that.
yeah, I lost my mom when I was in grade four. Now going to grade five, there were some issues that were happening in the family. I
Mhm.
came up with something very fine, a song sort of.
Mhm.
I would just love to say the lyrics because now I left
Sure.
singing at my back. And yeah, like I wrote something like let no one fool you. Sorry, I wrote something. We are suffering because of a woman. God has left us because of a woman. Take your time on women. Other women are dangerous. So that is the lyrics. I wrote that in grade five. Yeah. When I was in
We
grade
should
three,
have
I
that
wrote something.
recorded at some point and play it
Yeah.
on Gunjur Online.
No, no. Yeah, I wrote something in grade three. Let no one fool you. Let no one fool you. Education is the key to success in life. Let no one fool you. Let no one fool you. Education is the key to success in life. So it goes like that. Obama is able to rule America because of he's educated and stuff like that. So just to tell you that
Correct.
I went put into writing at a very early age.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. If you know me, I grew up in PG 33, and we have a lot
Mhm.
of educated people there. I was surrounded by educated people, so I was into all this at a very young
Mhm.
age. Going to junior school, I did my junior school in junior, upper, and senior. Uh, then when I was there, I was very outspoken. I
Mhm.
try at each and every given time to deliver speeches at assembly. Sometimes I will even interview our principal by them and
Mhm.
then deliver it on the assembly ground. I used to have Umar Kure as my mentor by then, but that was just limited to school. When I was in grade 9, I started something with uh, Mr. Baro, Abu Baro, which was story writing. I started that with him, but that was also limited just to the school. And Abu Akar, you can see that I was into writing and public
Yeah.
speaking, debate, at a very early age. But if you look at me up to this point, there is no single work of mine that you will see out there in the market, my name written on the cover saying that Emil is the producer or the author
So
of this particular work. Yeah.
yeah.
So when I look at the story, yeah,
Sorry, because we have maybe like a minute to go, so I definitely would invite you our next another program just to talk more on all this kind of stuff. But I just want to give you the final 1 minute just to wrap up and just give people what to expect on that, but also how many kids are you involved with in the school? I've seen photos of you organizing workshops and all those kind of stuff, and in Gunjur, and we need to showcase all this kind of stuff. So I'll give you the final your final remarks, in 1 minute, then we will bring another program that you will be part of.
Yeah, I currently I have 39 regular students that are with me. It's a community base. Individual and the Baby Society is a community base. We are doing this in the community. It is independent of the school because I realize that in the school we might be limited. There are a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of policy stuff that will limit our delivery. So therefore we decided to bring it in the community, and we are having 39 regular. When last summer we had our first summer academy that went for like 7 weeks, and we registered up to like 60. But the regular members of Gunjur and the Baby Society are 39. And there we invite people that are into what we are doing. Like the other time we had the Secretary General of Writers Association of the Gambia who came and taught the young people in India on copyright, intellectual property, blocking, and a lot of things. And we also had the Bunyan Theater. They came and taught them on acting. We had someone from Nova Scotia, Abubacarr Jammeh, who taught them on acting also. We had some of these national debaters. You talk of Ibrahim Sabali, you talk of Mariama Isanyang, Mariama E. Jallo. These are national debaters in the country. They are well known in the country. They were all one time invited in to do one thing or the other with the kids. So we just want to give them a platform. Like I was not mentioned, that is why my work isn't out there. But I don't want my story to be the story of each and every young person in Kenya that has a similar talent as mine at that early age. So when we came on board, Abubacarr, we could realize that there is really talent in the painting, and we were able to tap some of this talent. And right now we are promoting them, and it's building them up. Some of them have even started writing poems, and it will be showcased on my digital story segment. And not just that alone. That's not the only thing we are going to showcase on Digital. We are also going to look at some of these entrepreneurs because to tell you, the young people of Gibba are not lazy. Even when it comes to gender stereotypes, some of our guys are, I mean, cutting barriers. They are breaking barriers because I've seen a girl in Gibba that owns a barbing salon and she does barbing herself. Like my sister does painting, electricity installation and solar installation. So you will realize that there are a lot of things that are happening in Gibba, but you won't see them on mainstream media. So Gibba digital storytelling is the platform wherein we are going to see all that is not being shown on mainstream media. Yeah, basically that is all.
Thanks. I appreciate your time, Emil. We will have you on another show, hopefully before your first episode comes out on Gunjur Online. I thank my previous guest on the show. Hopefully we can get them back here, Lamin Kere Janneh, Papa J, and Emil. We definitely appreciate all of you following us. We apologize for the interruptions on communication right here. We will bring this up every Saturday, 12 p.m. New York time, 7 p.m. UK, and 6 p.m. GMT. I am your host, Abubacarr, and I'll see you right here next Saturday. You have yourself a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Blessed with the mighty Atlantic Ocean, fertile agricultural lands, and a strategic geographic location that gives an opportunity for a lot of people to explore and get into the business. Gunjur and the Gambia at large has experienced numerous shutdowns when it comes to economy, and especially this COVID time. Please join us as we embark on a journey where we explore different areas of our business sector, from agriculture, fisheries, and small business enterprises. GunjurBIZ is in short called GunjurBIZ. This will be a platform that we will use to explore different business opportunities, especially for young people. We'll bring you on Gunjur Online all the business topics that is related to financing, operations, marketing. And we will use this platform to invite experts from different sectors of the Gambian economy and give tips and have a broader analysis of the general business sector. This will give us an opportunity to be able to discuss in a broader detail how businesses are affected when it comes to our environment, our natural resources being exploited by other people, but also how we can tap into the opportunities and also access capital, which is very crucial for the success of the businesses. But not only that, we won't stop at accessing capital. You know what else we're going to do? It's about the little operational processes that are needed in our business culture to build up cultures that's going to be successful. And that's going to be, most importantly, what? It's going to be sustainable for the success of the business. So we can transfer wealth. We can also transfer skills from one person to another to be able to live in a community that is thriving, a community that businesses, private sector, individual businesses nurture entrepreneurship and reward them. So please join me every week on Gunjur Online as we delve into all these areas of discussions when it comes to business success. This is your host, Abubacarr of Gunjur Online. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you.
Gunjur Fitness Center Body Max.
See the wine, I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em. Baby girl, you bad, girl, the way you whine. I demand over you, girl. I demand over you, girl. Say you are my woman, my superwoman. I demand over you, girl. I demand over you, girl. See the wine, I see fire for body. And if you follow me, go now, enjoyment go kill 'em.
Moro,
Ibanya,
mbijan do bakandro.
Ko ngalla janne kibaro moy kalka sola bagaso wafi.
E ka fontelle ko sola enterprise. Fo fendi nabe dendi sola la fannala la sola la bundal. Ndella ko do kuwo ke mole janka sola joran kendo natala. Dum min nata na ko fanandia. Birin Gambia jam fo Gambia e bantala. Nka bagasol samba beto nka do ku kendo beke mo be ninga do ko ke momo ndi en ka sanji kilin garantie dilale nyin kama ko la do ko lanno so waran ni tema
bagasi falle
bagaso min bijay fofe nabe dendi sola la bundala la sola la fannala a bagaso sifa be bijay lightning and pumping system ndella fanan ko ke mole min be dendi na ko ni dandan ni kordalla ka jiodi alla nin ka lampo fanan sika ka dialla wo pompin wolbe den nin gadinol nin ku kotal ni la jiko ni la fama bela lightning wala dimbani ku kotal danno musola enterprise tin ko la kali
fama musola
fo fembe den ni sola la hajo la janne be loro
wato tente bul baga solta
adum fana be ku fula la leje bunda fula fana be mbulle fan ka bonan dami anin dula ba fula safonya America ni Europe na fan ka bana wolta dum doron no mote min ka fenken do na te sola la baga sol kana te nyam banko kanja
abanda baga solta
ngata.
For more information, call 7171-998, 7171-998. Gunjur Fitness Center Body Max.